Now let's talk about something that can truly elevate your legal writing, addressing counterarguments. Now, this is something I see a lot of students miss. A strong legal argument doesn't just present your perspective, it also anticipates and addresses the opposing views. Think of this as reinforcing your foundation. When you acknowledge counterpoints, you're showing the depth of your analysis and strengthening your credibility. But why do counter arguments matter? Ignoring potential objections is like building a castle without any sort of defenses. It leaves your argument exposed. Addressing counterpoints demonstrates that you've considered all angles. It makes your case more robust and persuasive. It shows that your argument isn't just one sided, it's thorough and well reasoned. So, how do you identify counterarguments? First, think critically. Put yourself in your opponent's shoes. Ask yourself, what arguments could they make against my position? Next, research thoroughly. Look for dissenting opinions in case law, scholarly articles, or even statutes that might challenge your perspective. Finally, anticipate the challenges. Think about the weaknesses in your own argument and how they could be exploited. Now, here's how to address counterarguments effectively. Step one is you want to acknowledge the argument. Start by stating the opposing view clearly and fairly. For example, you could say, some might argue that implementing stricter environmental regulations could harm economic growth. Step two is you want to refute the argument with evidence. You could use case law, data, or logic to challenge it. You might say, however, studies show that green policies often lead to job creation in renewable energy sectors, offsetting any short-term economic losses. Step three is you want to weaken the objection. Show why the counterargument is less compelling than your main point. For instance, while economic concerns are valid, the long-term benefits of a sustainable environment far outweigh the initial costs. Step four is you want to integrate it seamlessly. Tie your refutation back to your main argument. For example, you could conclude it with, therefore, stricter regulations not only protect the environment, but also support economic stability over time. Here's a pro tip for you. When addressing counterarguments, avoid dismissing them outright. Instead, treat them with respect. Use them as opportunities to strengthen your argument. By engaging with opposing views, you show that you've thought about things critically and comprehensively. Let me give you an example in action. A counterargument. Textualist interpretations of the Constitution fail to account for modern societal needs. And a response would be, while textualism focuses on original meaning, it provides a stable foundation that ensures consistency in legal interpretation. Courts can still address contemporary issues through legislative updates, preserving the balance between tradition and progress. And here are a few key phrases that you can use when addressing counterarguments. While this view has merit, it overlooks, or this argument fails to consider, or although this objection is valid in certain contexts, in this case, and finally, the evidence suggests otherwise as demonstrated by. Now, these are just a few examples, but do you see how it acknowledges the counterargument but quickly transitions into the refutation? Okay, so here are some final thoughts about counterarguments. Addressing counterarguments isn't just about winning a debate. It's about crafting a holistic and well-rounded argument. By showing that you've thought critically about opposing views, you inspire confidence in your reasoning and leave little room for doubt. Your argument is solid now, supported by well-structured paragraphs. But how do you tie it all together? Let's talk conclusions.